camera looks okay. I had to switch to my phone because I thought I was charging my actual camera, but it wasn't charging and it died. So I hope the quality is up to par. Before I get into the things that I like to discuss with you guys and just some of my personal goals and just like things that I've been pondering on, things that I've been musing, I just like to give a little or just preliminary discussion, if that's okay. And I have some notes here as well, so if you see me looking down, yeah, I just want to make sure I stay on topic. I'm not doing too much rambling. Hopefully you find value in what I have to share. And yeah, if you're someone with a major big ego, like you're a know-it-all, or you have like a pessimistic outlook on life, if you're a bit cynical in the way that you think, this may not be the space for you, or this conversation may not register in a way that I will hope it to. So kind of, if you're harboring like reservations around what people may label as wishful thinking, radical self-belief, faith, things like that, maybe this conversation may or may not resonate with you as well. If you're on your own journey of discovering delayed gratification and you find it gratifying to pretty much hone in on the particulars with your mental health, spirituality, and things like that, I feel like this is space for you. Okay, if you're just overall craving more for yourself, I'm very hopeful that you will find value in this space. One last thing before I want to touch on is, you guessed it, discipline. Everyone and their dog, everyone and their cat has been literally throwing this word around, and I just want to get in a little deep talk about it just briefly. Like, I think it's safe, first of all, to assume that everyone has had some level of training, whether it's been in sports, whether it's been academia, or any other pursuits that you may have been inclined to do. You've had to have some level of discipline when pursuing them. Each of these experiences require a level of discipline, which essentially lays the groundwork for any of these pursuits. I feel like we're always striving for excellence in some sort of way. Like, I know for me personally, I feel like once I have achieved a goal, I have something else that I'm reaching for, something else I would like to achieve continuously. We're just on a constant incline, if that makes sense. With all that being said, let's explore what it truly means to have self-discipline and the transformative power that it holds in our lives. What I've learned and what it truly means, like everyone's going around, oh, you gotta be disciplined, da da da. How do you keep the consistency going when you are disciplining yourself? Here's the thing, real discipline starts with a very tiny, very simple routine. Now, just because it's small doesn't mean it's easy. Easy and simple are kind of like apples and oranges, okay? They sound similar to our brains, like when we hear it, but it's not easy to achieve simplicity and live in a straight line day to day. It takes practice. So we have to start small, and yeah, you get it. Once we figure out like a really cool, like simple, small, cutesy little routine that we feel like we could authentically like be real with ourselves and say, okay, I have to figure out what that is for you. Maybe it's a bedtime routine, small, simple thing, task that you can do daily that you feel like you can hold yourself accountable for. Then that is what you should start with. Once you've kind of figured out what that routine is for you, it will be a game changer. Like, you will be so excited and proud of yourself. I know I was so proud, like, because again, like I told you guys, I'm not a morning person. So once I decided to wake up early If you're a visual learner like me, you also need some sort of way to measure your progressions and what it is that you're doing, and your routine is how you do that. You're quite literally creating a roadmap for your brain. It's very imperative to train your mind like a puppy, and this is the most simplest, easy way to get to consistency. You start with your tiny little routine and you train your brain, and your brain has its routine as its roadmap. It's giving you a sense of direction, and you need direction, you need consistency if you want to see those adorable little tricks. So, measuring your progress is key. Like, you wouldn't want to run a marathon without checking your mileage, would you? It's all about recognizing those improvements along the way. They may seem really small, but trust me, it adds up. Whatever personal things, details that make you you, put that into your routine, put that into your work. It's a very thought-provoking thing to do. And to me, that's what kind of pulls the masterpiece together. We are going to sprinkle a little stoicism, this mix of your routine. When you're pursuing your goals or your dreams, have some sort of stoicism, some sort of seriousness, to the point of where you do not have any emotion outside of hyper focus on what it is that you want. You are literally controlling all of your vices, all of the things, all of your triggers. You are stoic. Nothing can waver you. That's literally the attitude or the mood you're in when you are in your routines. Like, obviously you have to come down to earth at some point. You're still human. But when it comes to your business and your routine, you're serious. You're really trying to get from here to here. You're trying to bring these two ends, and you're trying to close them like a table napkin, if that makes sense. So you don't really have room to cry. You don't have room to just be all over the place and be messy. You have to use all your energy and dedicate yourself to these tasks and what it is you want to do. So I don't really put a lot of pressure as far as time. I just try to be realistic in what it is that I want and how I want that to look. But I don't really, when I'm going through my day-to-day, like measure myself with time, like how much time it's taking. Obviously, if you have somewhere to be, if you have work, ideally you want to, make sure that you're on time for work or whatever it is that you do, whatever obligations you have. If you have children, you just want to make sure that you're sticking to your guns, but then you're also meeting your obligations as well. So you want to do some time blocking, if that makes sense. Being accountable for yourself is crucial in, pursuing your consistency in your routine. You are the captain of your own ship. No one is here to baby you, hold your hand. Like, you have to be that for yourself. And the more you do your routine, the more you become equipped. You start to easily become well versed in yourself. That's why I spoke earlier about journaling, because it also just helps me get my game face on and just know my own mind. I noticed that a lot of the apps these days have, how are you feeling? And even my journal is constantly asking you how are you feeling? Because you want to be real with yourself. You want to know where you are emotionally. Being emotionally intelligent, you really don't have a clear head to make choices or even give yourself 100% performance if you're under pressure. But you have to be real with yourself and say, hey, how am I feeling? Am I angry today? Okay, if I'm angry, I need to take a deep breath. I need to do this. You may need to switch up your approach for that day. So I think the more you do your routine, you just become a little bit more well versed and you know your mind a lot more. Because let's be honest, if we don't know our own minds, then how can we challenge our mind to move forward and do anything else? The more you become well versed in your strengths, the better equipped you are to govern yourself, to give you some perspective. How can you set a rule if you don't truly know your strengths? And these are things that I had to ask myself. You may not get the answer right away. It just comes over time the more you throw yourself in a routine. I challenge you to take the time to explore yourself and learn what actually makes you tick, and I promise you will see your routines, your self-discipline just flourish. It will be so much easier if you just take the time